Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another online Medieval 1212 custom map, custom scenario battle. Yes, we are back and we are raring to go with an epic online battle. I'm super excited to see how this one does turn out, and I want to give a massive shout out to the guys who sent this in over on my Discord. They went ahead and created this really cool scenario. This is even a custom map that they got someone to make, so again, massive shout out to LolWhat who created this map, and I just really appreciate all the effort they've gone to create a really exciting and fun battle for you guys. So if you also appreciate it, be sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment on the video. It's the best way to let these guys know that you want to keep on seeing them playing these battles. You want to keep on seeing them creating these really unique and interesting scenarios. So yeah, just if you enjoy the video, make sure to go drop a like and a comment, because a lot of effort went into this battle. As you can obviously tell, it's creating the map, creating these cool positions and the scenario and stuff. It's just a lot of effort. So I want to give them a massive shout out. It's not like they gain anything from doing this besides really helping out the channel. So I appreciate it. And obviously having an epic battle, what's not to love right there. So in this one we have around about 24,000 soldiers, just over 23,000, no, yeah, just over 24,000 soldiers. Hey, it's just after Christmas, my maths is a little bit bad. But yes, we have this central force that is currently marching its way through this river crossing, and there is an ambush occurring. So we have the Teutonic Order, part of the ambush, and they're going to be supported by the Bulgarians. I think that is the Bulgarian flag. It's one of the Balkan flags for sure. I think it's Bulgarian, I'm not 100% sure. And then we have defending, we have a Lithuanian force as well as a Polish and a Polish force. So yeah, the Lithuanian Poland are moving their army through the river crossing, but oh no, bad stuff has occurred. The Teutonic Order have laid an ambush for them. And here we go, the music is beefing up, the battle is preparing, and yeah, I'm excited to see this one. Like, you just don't get many really cool scenarios like this, and I'm just, as I said, so grateful they went ahead and created this one for us to watch, because I'm very excited to see how this one does turn out. Especially when all the infantry comes up, and it also looks like there's a whole range of different units as well. A lot of the time, people who send in these battles just play with the highest tier infantry, so it's really cool to see these battles which necessarily don't have the craziest armies. Also, I mean, how do they not see the army up there, It's like, there's not really a lot of forest for them to hide in. Oh, them units are cool, though. Let's take a look at these bad boys back here. Yeah, these guys look, no, do these guys? Yeah, these guys, they're heavy. Ducal Spearmen look amazing. Look at them. Oh, that is awesome. But here we go. The ambush has been strong, and it seems like the Bulgarians have come out using some horse archers that they've gone ahead and acquired to start harassing the marching column. They are quickly moving into position, though, to try and defend this river crossing. However, they are obviously going to get pounced on by the Teutonic Order if they're not careful. Again, this unit looks really nice. I don't know if they've added a few more units to Lithuania and Poland, but either way, they look great. They really do. So a few of the horse archers are going to be harassing as we have the Lithuanians forming up to meet this river crossing. So on this map, there are 4 river crossings, I think. There are 2 bridges and 1 in the center that you can actually see that the Lithuanians are going to be trying to cross straight away. The Lithuanian axemen of the early period. These guys are obviously not going to be super effective or sustained, but they do have javelin throws, and that's going to be big. For these javelins are going to be doing some decent damage, and then we're going to have the Bulgarian infantry charging into them. This river is going to run red, that is for sure. Are the Teutons moving yet, or are they still just waiting? Maybe like in the scenario, this army hasn't revealed itself yet. Yeah, I think by the looks of it, this army still is like hidden in quotation marks. Obviously, we can see it. But yeah, we'll be under the impression until this army moves that they are currently hidden, and I imagine that might be part of the scenario, right? So it looks like we're going to get a few interesting battles right off the bat as they try and cross and try and defend these bridges. We're going to be getting some infantry form up, some of these, what are these, 15th century, some heavy infantry going up against the Lithuanians as they clash in onto the bridge. I really like their leopard capes that they have. That's pretty cool. A lot of archers as well flying in. How awesome would it be if Attila was super moddable? Because like even creating a map like this probably took like an hour or maybe even a couple hours, maybe even more than that. I would not even be surprised because the Attila maps are just so like hard. The mod tools are absolutely crap. So like how amazing would it be if you could actually like blow up these bridges, and oh, there's just so much that could happen, and it's such a shame that it really isn't showing much love. But here we go. The Teutonic Order is coming off of the hill, and it seems like the Polish are going to be forming up with their heavy axemen. These guys are obviously going to be impacting a lot of damage. However, well, actually, they actually got their backs turned. Maybe they don't know about this assault yet. Because again, as I said, this is a custom scenario, so maybe they have not seen this yet. Or maybe they are reforming, surely, to meet the Teutonic Order. But yeah, again, these heavy axemen are great offensive units, but if they get caught out by a lot of crossbow fire, they are going to melt. And I really like what the Bulgarians are doing. They're training all of their archer fire off onto the crossbowmen of the Polish, Lithuanian, yeah, of the Lithuanians, Ducal crossbowmen. Because if you can kill these guys, then that really takes away a large portion of their force, whereas it seems like a large portion of the Lithuanian crossbows are mainly focusing down the infantry, which have now broken forward the front line and are charging onto the next line of Ducal spearmen. These guys look amazing. I love the spearmen. It's like got that really like iconic, like curved Lithuanian like Balkan shield. But it just feels very different to the ones we've seen before. It's a bit bigger. And it's got this awesome pattern on. Really, really cool stuff. Have we got any engagements over here by the Teutons yet? No, the Teutons are still forming up. Their archers are harassing the archers of Poland. You can see a lot of crossbow fire coming down. But these are Pavese. They're not really going to be getting taken down too quickly. And I imagine, yeah, I mean, it does look like the Teutons have their own men as well. I mean, just look at this battle right now. Holy crap. That looks amazing. Oh, I dig this so much. I cannot thank the Discord enough for sending this one in. The Lithuanians are repelling the first kind of assault from the swordsmen after a large amount, but there are plenty more Bulgarians ready to come across. Yeah, these are definitely Bulgarians. I remember the shields. The crossbows are definitely helping out, but the crossbows are going to start running out of men, you know. They are being focused down by missiles, so you're going to see a few of these crossbows starting to dwindle as more and more infantry comes across. Oh, can they get up here? Or no? I assume they can't get across here. Like, this is the only river crossing right here. But it'd be amazing if they could funnel themselves up here.
The enemy have rallied their units.
I actually take that back. Maybe it's better for Pavese to kill this infantry, because the Pavese really aren't dying from any of the archer fire whatsoever. And they're doing some serious damage to the swordsmen on the river crossing. The cavalry here is harassing and breaking forward. We have the Teutonic Ritterbruder charging in these really thin spaghetti lines. You can't do this anymore in the latest patch because you just get run through. Even light cavalry can smash through thin lines like this now. They've recently made a change. I like to feel like we were kind of responsible for that change, because in a lot of the battles you just have really thin lines of spearmen and they'd be able to somewhat repel cavalry. But now even light cavalry can smash through these really thin lines, so you have to be extremely careful. But yeah, the Teutons have to be really careful, because they might end up coming up against two parties of cavalry, right? And you'll see it right here. I mean, this is heavy cavalry, obviously. They smash forward, and what you can do is you can carry on running forward and just do so much damage, just trampling the men on the ground. And now again, you can just come on, continue to harass them. Again, break that, crossbow line, break the spear line. You're going to be getting a little bit caught out, obviously, here, but these guys, how many kills do they have so far? We can take a look at them. Over 300 kills, so they've already paid for themselves. And then they rear charge their way out of it. It's just a really effective way. And hopefully these players will stop making these spaghetti lines, because they just get punished so hard by doing them now. You really, really do. There are obviously ways, they've kind of, tried to counter it with another line of spearmen to follow up and cavalry to come in. So you kind of almost create a death channel almost. But even still, you just can't really do it much in the latest patch. So we're going to get some war dogs thrown in against the Ducal spearmen of Lithuania on this right-hand side. Oh, brutal stuff right there. Really, really brutal stuff. We're also being shot by crossbows as well, so it's a really, really hard fight indeed. And this ambush fight is definitely heating up. Again, we'll take a nice little look out here. We can see that both sides are really throwing their infantry ahead. And now, realistically, the Bulgarians should never be able to break through. There should always be infantry from the Lithuanians to hold them at bay. However, if the Teutons can maybe kind of cause some havoc and break forward, then who knows? And I guess all it takes as well is like one big breach, and then, maybe they can get a few more men around on this side and they manage to support the bridge. Or on the other side. I mean, it'll be hard because there are a lot of heavy infantry on both sides. You've got Polish heavy axemen on that side and more Polish heavy axemen on the other side. So You know, realistically, the best way for the Teutons to break forward, I think, is through this center. There's a lot of these 13th century spearmen. You know, a lot of the quality of the Polish are going to be in these axemen, and obviously these sergeants as well. But again, they're only 14th century, so the Teutons could really make a smash through the center and do some pretty serious damage. Over on the front lines at this river crossing, again, more missiles and javelins coming in. The Lithuanians and Polish are just done such a great job here. Also, one of the things I really love about these... Oh, they've broken through here? Well, they have, but obviously there's a lot more noble swordsmen. They're only 13th century swordsmen, though, so obviously the money was spent elsewhere. So these guys are doing good. They're still sword infantry, but, you know, they're a couple centuries behind, I think, some of these Bulgarian. No, Bulgarians are still bringing a lot of 13th century. So yeah, you know, it's actually kind of pretty even here.
The enemy has found our concealed units.
I love the Balkan units as well. They look so cool. More infantry being thrown up now, and we do have some 15th century macemen. So these guys are going to be very, very effective and nice. Like, the good thing is as well for the ambushers is that they've used a lot of their weaker units to soften up and absorb missiles. So these 15th century macemen should do really, really good. We're also getting the Teutons getting closer and closer with their very, very iconic infantry. God, I really don't know what faction I'm going to play first when the 12-12 campaign comes out. I really don't, because, like, I love the Balkan factions like Lithuania, Bulgaria, Poland are pretty cool. Obviously, they're not, you know, but Balkan, but they're more north, but same with Lithuania, obviously. But, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of Eastern European feel. I love that. I love the feudal knights of England, France, and Spain. I love Italy. Italy is so awesome, and I think definitely an underrated faction. I also think the Eastern factions are so cool in 12-12 as well, like the Sultans of Rum. The Latin Empire is really cool. Like, there's just so many factions I want to play. So I honestly don't know who I'm going to do first when the campaign does come out. Ooh, so we're getting more axemen being thrown in here to try and withstand this bleeding. How are the bridges looking here? More infantry being brought over. Oh, we're going to get a beautiful charge right here by the cavalry of the Teutons. However, they're going to be outclassed by the Polish knights. Polish knights have 3 chevrons right here, which should easily make them, you know, superior. I mean, there's a lot of heavy armor, though, on these knights. Really, really elite infantry. We're going to be getting more axemen being brought over, but the Teutons are also throwing over some of their dismounted Ritterbruder, some elite knights of the Teutons with these huge hammers and axes. And as we make our way over to the front lines, we can see that they have also clashed right now, both sides edging closer and closer towards one another, looking for blood. This is pretty goddamn cool right here. Some of the lines are clashing, and I mean, I feel like the fresher units of the Teutons will end up winning this and securing themselves this front line, but there are plenty more infantry of the Polish heavy PV spearmen to then be thrown in. I think the fight is really going to be determined on these flanks, but also the Polish have 3 knights right here which they could throw in and do some pretty serious stuff with Polish-Lithuanian knights. They could do some serious damage if they are committed in the right places. But yeah, definitely the dismounted halberds of the Teutonic Order are going to smash these axemen of the Polish. But then these knights are going to do some serious damage once they can get round. But they are being supported by more swordsmen, so maybe the swordsmen can cover their rears and make sure they don't get, you know, charged in. The Teutons are descending upon them right now. The Bulgarians are also brutally fighting forward. I mean, there's plenty of infantry set up right here that can be committed. Some dismounted sword infantry. But the Macemen are having a bit of a hard time trying to break through these axemen now that they have been committed by the Lithuanians. Again, if we take a nice little look out, you can see that finally the Lithuanian knights are now being committed, but it could be a bit too late now that the swordsmen have turned up. The front line are also really struggling here by the Polish. I think they are maybe winning this right. No, they're not even winning this flank. The heavy infantry of the Teutons are just proving far too much, and more infantry needs to get in. I mean, the only real position that the people who got ambushed, you know, the Lithuanians and Polish, are really winning are right here in the center. But even then, gaps are appearing. Even though they're sending back multiple spear infantry, they're still losing men here and there. to the macemen. That creates gaps that are going to need to be filled, and if they're not filled, that's going to be extremely bad for them. More axemen being thrown in here by the Bulgarians. The bridge fights are still just obviously very stagnant, but you can see plenty of casualties have been received on both sides. I mean, more than anything else, this is mainly just here to keep the enemy at bay, make sure that they have to cover these areas so that their other allies can really break forward. And as you can see, even with these cavalry charges, which are ferociously going in, the Polish knights, it seems like the Teutons have absolutely smashed the Polish on this left-hand side, and now they're going to be charging in to the rear of the rest of the Polish men and, surrounding them and cutting them down. However, the Lithuanian knights are also charging in and doing some serious damage on them charges. Keeping them alive is going to be so important. And as I said, as long as they can keep the Bulgarians at bay, that's 4 units of knights that they can't really bring to bear. I know the Bulgarians have some really cool hybrid lancers as well, so these guys do some great shock damage if they could get across right now. So it's really up to the Teutons to break forward here and cause some serious issues. Open up a breach point. If the Teutons can open up a breach point for the Bulgarians, and they're going to come flying through with all their might. I love the look of these Teuton knights as well. They've definitely been updated since the last time I've seen the Teutons, and yeah, they look really, really nice. Like the Gothic armor, I think is recently updated as well because it looks so clean. I mean, it's not so clean; it's covered in blood, but you guys know what I mean. Very, very nice stuff here. Very, very brutal battle indeed. The knights, though, winning on these flanks are going to be able to allow them just to curve in. I mean, the centre as well is holding, but just not that effectively. And now we're getting all the Teutons coming in. More reinforcements have turned up, though. There's a lot more of the Lithuanians are charging in against these spearmen. We're getting, heavy knights being actually repelled by the swords of Lithuania. These 15th century swordsmen are doing their job in cooperation with the cavalry, who are taking heavy casualties. But again, they're routing men, which is so goddamn important for them. Again, the front line over here is trying to break forward. You've even got some Italian mercenaries here, these Italians. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Let's zoom out and take a look. No, just some normal guardsmen, so heavy infantry from Bulgaria. Far too often, you see a lot of these Italian mercenaries in factions like this. As more and more infantry just gets thrown into the battle. But I think that Teuton side is just going to end up breaking far too heavily. There's just so many Teutonic order infantry in the centre just pushing forward. But these flanks are definitely a lot more contested now that more infantry is being committed. I think the Bulgarians have sent, their cavalry and their infantry. Oh, sorry, the Lithuanians even have sent a lot more of their men over here to support the Polish. And even though men are breaking, I mean, this cavalry is still alive. We're going to be getting a nice charge off over here, though, if we jump on board with the Teutons as they come flying downhill on the Polish knights. A lot of them trying to pull out of this engagement. But these Lithuanians are going to break off many of their lances into the front of the Polish. Brutal stuff indeed. We do have the Polish King's Bodyguard, though, trying to find a way. And yeah, a lot more of the Lithuanians are now being committed. Their final kind of push right here is going to be brutal, though. If the centre breaks for the Polish, then the Lithuanians are going to be in a real sticky situation. Oh, we're going to get a great charge right here. These lances. Oh my god, the damage off on these crossbows are going to be insane when they get back up. The cavalry is going to do so much. Look at that number drop. Oh baby, they lost like 40 men there, maybe even more. That was a great charge. They managed to find their way through these thin gaps in the Lithuanian line and just charge off onto these crossbows and kill a large portion of them. I mean, these guys have a lot of ammunition left, so that was a really nice charge there. A really nice charge indeed. And I mean, if they can do it again with any other cavalry, that would also be extremely good. Over on this right-hand side, you can see the fighting on the bridge is still going on. I'm surprised they've managed to do so well, honestly. Because these bridge fights have been really focused down. But yeah, they've been really focused down by missiles on both sides. So it's honestly pretty impressive. that both sides have managed to kind of keep this down. And no one has really broken forward, but it looks like the Bulgarians are starting to make pretty good headway. Oh, and a wonderful charge here by the Grand... No, it's actually the Polish general. I thought this for a second was the Teutons. Smashing through the Teuton spearmen, though. Really nice stuff. I mean, he's going to be taking damage. And now he's going to get onto the back of the crossbowmen, who are going to be able to get a volley off, maybe? One volley? Yeah, one pretty nice volley. But then the king, as you can see, the Polish king right there, charging in to them. But I mean, oh my god, his bodyguard is being slaughtered by the other unit of crossbows. My god, this is why it's so risky to use your general like this, because the missiles can simply spread out and then just start shooting you in the rear. Luckily, they managed to engage on both of them. But if the Teutons are smart, they'll try and spread out these archers and try and get the crossbows just to kill this general. Because I mean, look at that, them volleys were insanely deadly. How are the flanks doing as well? It seems like the Teutons have basically cleared up these flanks as well, and soon will be rushing down to help out their allies. We do actually see a nice little ducal spear line right here. This is awesome, being formed up to try and protect this flank as heavily as possible. Now we have the Grand Master bodyguard as well of the Teutonic Order, who I imagine will be coming right through this gap that is being created. Yeah, he's doing exactly that. And the Polish king is dead. The Polish king is dead by the crossbows. Yeah, you really need more support. Where is this Grand Master bodyguard going to go? He's going to go right into these crossbows, I think. Here we go. Charging in. This is going to be a deadly charge. But again, the crossbows are going to come in. The nice thing is he spread out before charging in, so he could just go right through that unit. Nice move there by the cavalry. And he's quickly just going to continue moving, because you can't stand in one space. Otherwise, you're going to take a lot of damage. It seems like the ducal spearmen of Lithuania are repelling the Teutons. I mean, they've got a lot of crossbows over here, but even still, doing a pretty nice job. However, the center is not looking too clean for them whatsoever. Also, you've got a lot of archers coming here. The Teutons are causing some real serious issues as we continue in on this fight. The archers are pretty much out of ammunition now as well. So yeah, I feel like it's just not worth, unless you can focus down like all 5 of your archers onto one archer unit of the enemy, it's really just not worth killing the enemy missiles. Especially, it's not worth killing heavily armored enemy missiles, because it's going to take you far too long, and you're better off just killing infantry and like trading infantry, honestly. Unless you can get like all of your crossbows on one of their crossbows, it just seems like it takes far too long to really do the damage, to like break through for these crossbows and stuff. So you're better off just killing infantry, honestly. Oh, we got a general, we got a duel of fates right here as the Grand Duke's bodyguard goes after the Grand Master bodyguard. But I think the Teuton general is going to try and get the hell out of there. Maybe even try and rear charge into the back of these Pavis, who are well renowned for holding the line. Yeah, he's going to get a good, nice little charge off there, trying to do as much damage as possible. But I imagine the Duke, he's trying to keep himself alive. The balance of power is not looking good right now. If we can hover over that, that'd be amazing. There we go. We can see that the Teutons and Bulgarians have over 5,000, just under 5,000 soldiers left. And the Polish and Lithuanian forces are down to 2,500. So really not too great. And I can feel a mass rout coming. The Bulgarians are going to be fighting on over on that river crossing. And if they can break through, I think it's going to be deadly. Yeah, we're even getting crossbowmen having to be deployed right now. Oh, and there we go, a bridge too far right here, as the Bulgarians have finally managed to make their way through. I mean, honestly, that's all you really had to do, is break your way through one of these bridges. And one of the most important things there is just stretching the enemy out as thin as possible. You know, these are 3 choke points that they have to hold, and if the Teutons put up enough pressure, then the infantry is going to get, brought away to try and defend. You don't want to get outflanked by these choke points, and eventually they're just not going to have enough men to fill these gaps, especially now that the Teutonic cavalry is just running amok in the back, or the Bulgarian cavalry, sorry, is turning up. The Cumans are now here. You know all about the Cumans, Killer Kingdom Come Deliverance, so it's always cool to see them making their appearance known. They're coming from this kind of area, a bit more eastern, which is crazy. Like when I first played Kingdom Come Deliverance, I thought Bohemia was a lot south, but then I played a ton of EU4 and realized that Bohemia is actually pretty north, like kind of northeastern, obviously next to Poland. And the two, like, kind of relatively close to the Teutons as well, I thought they were a lot more South Germany more than anything else. The good old EU4, where I get all my map knowledge, taught me otherwise. Oh, that crossbow volley was brutal, but yeah, the battle is over. The capture point has now been taken. And we're going to see the morale just dropping down quickly. But I mean, my god, guys, that's probably the best battle I've had on the channel in a long time. Not that the other battles are bad, but that one was just above and beyond. That was an 11 out of 10 battle. That really, really was. So honestly, if you guys enjoyed that, please, please, please be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. It helps out the channel so much. And it lets the guys know, create these battles, to do more of them. Because if we can get more battles like this, then that is just truly, truly, amazing. If we can get, multiple battles like this a week, then holy crap, that'd just be insane. I mean, I know a lot of work goes into these, obviously custom maps and stuff. Oh, another rich cavalry charge there by the Bulgarians. They're finally bringing their human lancers to bear. Very, very nice stuff. They're just going to wrap up the end of the battle. The Teutons managed to win. I mean, the Teutons took heavy casualties. Really, it was the Bulgarians who probably had the most left in the end. They were really just, able to have that much left. Because, they're just trying to funnel their way through choke points. But both parties put up a great fight. And, yeah, I mean, the attackers, considering they did ambush them, did lose a large portion of their army as well. But very, very awesome stuff. Always love good custom maps, and I'm sure you guys do as too. Also, look at this as well. We have one, brave noble swordsman still fighting on, even after all hope is lost. And they're about to be charged as well. Wow, brutal stuff. We'll just speed up. There we go. Valiant defeat there by the Polish and Lithuanians. I mean, they were ambushed at the end of the day, so who expected them to really win? They put up a very valiant fight, though. Oh, I love this thumbnail as well for the Grandmaster. That is absolutely awesome. So taking a look at kills, we'll start taking a look at the Polish first. Their knights doing okay. Their infantry getting 112 kills there. Some of their mercenary Swiss halberds, 111 kills. Not too bad. Their axes just, I don't think, could stand up to the Teutons, who again, their dismounted Ritterbruder knights just did so much work. 214 on these guys. And their crossbows did serious damage compared to the Polish crossbows. And over on the Lithuanian side, their dismounted light infantry as well did great. 266, 200, 240. Really good stuff from this section of the infantry. Their axemen got slaughtered though. Their crossbows did okay, and their knights did pretty decent. Over on the side of the Teutons, we already looked at their dismounted knights. Their sword infantry did pretty decent. Their crossbows and their cavalry. Then finally, over on the Bulgarian side, we can see that again, their infantry did standard, and their cavalry, even though they came in pretty late, did pretty goddamn amazing. So yes, hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle. Be sure to drop a like and a comment if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.